Okay. Let's therefore, and I would assume, sir, that this mechanism from action or process is an important part of the legislation, correct? It must be. The user group and the service provider, one asking the other first, must be an important part of the...
Now let me explain.
But the point I wish to make is this. If this is a unique situation, surely the legislation is at fault here. And what has happened is, just as they have clever accountants to base their figures on, which you then base the Ferry rules on, they also have clever lawyers who look at these, they found a loophole in what you're doing, in trying honestly to administer justice and fairness. And I thank you. Surely, therefore, you must do something to reverse this. Yes. Grow this monopolistic situation into the murky water where it belongs. Because unless you do that, all you're doing is putting money in their pockets and allowing them to exploit a monopolistic position. You must stop looking at this on a piecemeal basis. One increase after the next increase. Very own. What you must do is look at the law in totality. Reshape them. Stop them. Impose some sense in this madness. That is your duty as a civil servant.
Thank you for this. We'll take note of that. But I would like to ask, apart from if there is such a complicated relation between the two, the service provider and the management company, what other association you recommend we should believe? Yeah, you ask Amy. I always listen to her.
COC 係咩？識字個城市委業主委員會。哦，呢度嘅委員會。係，即係每一個村咧有個代表啊嘛。哦。咁佢哋係代表村嚟開會嘅。哦。
They represent all users in EV. The ridership. That was unique.
唔係佢坐低嘅。
I have one practice as well.
Yeah. 咪俾佢。議員要講嘢喎。
I'm going to give you the mic. I'm going to give you the mic after this. But I just want to mention, DB Transport, the ferry or the bus company. I think you can hear tonight that your stakeholders, your customers are very unhappy. And like any companies in the world, if management is not doing their job and they keep making losses and asking for hands out to rescue them, who should be accountable? It's the management. Yeah. And who scrutinizes whether you're doing a good job or not? Every now and then, every few years, you're saying we're making a loss. Why are you still in your job?
They're still in their jobs because they have a monopoly, sir.
TD just put the tick box. COC, tick, consult, tick. POG, consult, tick. ITC, consult, tick. But you haven't considered the most important thing. Who represents the residents here? I represent them in the IDC and TNTC to object, and every few days I pass on to you the chart how many people object. More than 93% of the respondents object. I send you the questionnaire. I send and extract all the comments to you and COC. All these reasons for objecting. What is your response? Oh, they are the user group, they are the operator. There's nothing I can do. One thing I ask you to follow it up. They are using the bus for this wedding. They are going to New Horizon after the picture. Have you followed this up? They're parking at Sienna too. Have you followed this up? Whether this has been RS or have been used for commercial purposes? You haven't. I report this to the ombudsman that you are not doing the job properly.
Yeah, bad job. James.
Mr. Ong, you're our gatekeeper. We don't have. You are our gatekeeper. We don't have anybody else to go to. We pay our tax in Hong Kong. You have to. We don't even get our lump sum picked up. We have to pay for it as well. You know, we pay our villagers. We pay every time. Why do you think golf carts are worth $2.2 million? It's because the transport service here is not effective. Where else in the world? I actually have photos on my iPhone in Australia, and I show them a fairly expensive sports car and one of a golf cart, and I say to people, which one's worth more money? And the golf cart's worth more than the Porsche. We've got the golden handcuffs by Tony. You're our gatekeeper. You said you induced them to be more transparent. I believe in the Tooth Fairy and Easter Sunday as well. The thing is, you have to be the gatekeeper. They've said they'll look at the possibility of octopus cards. Here's an octopus card, it's got my photo on it. That allows me to do certain things. It is available, it is out there, it can be done. It can be done. And you can identify who the residents are. The transport service, you say, into service within Discovery Bay. The only one that is truly that way is the Marina Club. You try and jump on the Marina Club without them knowing you're on a berth at the Marina Club, me as a resident, I have to pay. The other people down there that are on the marina, they don't have to pay. You have to actually do your job. Be our gatekeeper. We've got no one else to go to.
This is not about pricing, it's not about anything else but safety on the buses. And I have witnessed at about 3:30 in the afternoon those regular transport buses coming up to the school. The school breaks up, the Chinese school breaks up, the Western school breaks up, and I can tell you that those buses are stacked with children sitting, standing in the footwell, standing over the yellow lines. They're standing the whole way. We've already had accidents on the roads going to Tung Chung and going to Sunny Bay. These buses are not designed to go on big public roads like that when they're doing a lot of speed. And I can tell you, it is just a question of time before one of those buses creams in, and there are a lot of children that are damaged along the way.
And that'll be on you.
I think it's disgusting that we do not provide a proper bus that goes to on those open roads.
It is one public record that the largest undisclosed out-of-court settlement was the poor child, I won't say the person's name, being hit by a bus some years ago outside BBIS, and it's on public record that it is the highest out-of-court settlement in the Hong Kong history. What I do when I get onto a bus that is overloaded, I wait till I've gone through the tunnel. This is the phone, 2988 2369. I ring North Town Police, and they come and they actually take action. We can do something about the overloaded buses. Just ring North Town Police. Get the village chairman to put the information out. But
Give him the mic. Microphone. Give him the mic.
phone number 2988
俾個咪佢啊！
Call the police.
Yeah, I just want to say a lot of people here have made a lot of good comments here tonight. Just my question is now what? Are we going to get minutes of this meeting and action points? And if so, when?
Tony, can you answer that question?
I'm not going to produce any minutes.
湊串喎呢個人，呢個 Tony 乜叉係代表香港興業。
Gentlemen,
問佢講咗咁耐咧，有冇啲相關，有冇咩 news？
I think a lot of that may have come as a surprise to you.
佢話我唔
I genuinely believe that. I have sat on the COC for a couple of years now. I have written email after email asking, before I can comment on a subject, Hong Kong results and city management to stop obfuscating the subject. Not giving data. Data they do give is biased and slanted, and therefore I refuse to comment. A lot of what you've heard tonight, you've heard from the horse's mouth. These are the people that are suffering from a monopoly, the only monopoly of its type in Hong Kong. But for the fact that we have a monopoly in Discovery Bay, we possibly wouldn't need your protection, because market forces would move in and they would push people like Tony and their incompetence to the side, and they would take market share. We do not have that luxury here. All we have is you. We don't have any other operators to do this work for us. We only have you. And that's why I'm asking you to look at this matter holistically, not just on the basis. First of all, I urge you, do not make any consideration or decisions on any fare increases until they fulfil their obligations under the last one and give the correct data to all of us.
And reverse the bus increase.
The second thing is, please do not consider this fare increase in a vacuum. First thing, it must be done as a holistic one with the buses. Second one, and preferably, it should be a total review of the system and the manipulative exploitation by Hong Kong resorts. Otherwise, we'll be in the same position in 2 years.
我哋係唔可以換公司㗎啦。咁即係話，我係有權指導你要點做，你打嗰份工你都要做咯，你唔可以唔回應咯。如果你唔回應，即係。
The key issue is this issue of user group and service provider. Your legislation, your powers, you are a toothless tiger, sir. You can do nothing. Because the legislation as it currently is, unless you use your grey matter to sort it out, will continue to make us be exploited. Please, we are requesting you, we are begging you, protect us. Do your job, otherwise we're going to be here, not 2 years, 1 year. Because I'll come back and ask for another one when the ridership moves from one to the other. Oh, this one's now running low. Let's move it back to the other one. It goes backwards and forwards. Okay? Please.
Please. Last week I was here, I didn't have holiday. I'm happy tonight there's lots of people compared to last week.